Welcome to this new episode of Lucky Last. Today my guest is Kirstin Lee, who turned a dream, a sewing machine and a love for the ocean into one of Australia's most beloved fashion label. Kiki, as everyone called you, you are the founder of KIVARI and you started selling handmade leather accessories at local markets while working as a radiographer. You must have been very busy. From a spare room in Bondi to a flagship store and boutiques all over Australia, your story is pure entrepreneurial magic. In this episode, we will dive into what it really takes to build a label fashion from scratch, the obstacles that no one sees, and the mindset that help you grow KIVARI into a meaningful brand. Kirstin, welcome to Lucky Last.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Marie.
Thank you for
joining us.
Excited
to be here today.
Your story is so inspirational and I can't wait to hear more about it. So let's start with the beginning. What was the moment you had to start KIVARI and was it called KIVARI at the very beginning?
Okay, so I studied radiography at university, which is pretty much physics and anatomy, nothing to do with fashion whatsoever. And I was working as a radiographer at the Tweed Heads Hospital. I went on a surf trip with some friends to Bali. And while I was there, I just became super inspired because the island is so creative and you've got this really big creative energy over there. So while I was there, I thought I'm just going to start designing some little leather wallets and bags. And, you know, it was a kind of a creative outlet for me. And I was going to bring them home and sell them at the local market. So I went about that. I changed my flight. My friends came home. I stayed there for another week on my motorbike, just zooming around, you know, seeing different suppliers and manufacturers and designing little leather wallets and bags. And I spent my last $200 that I had and invested all into these leather pieces. I put them in my suitcase, came back home praying that customs would not stop me because I'd have to pay duty on the product. And they didn't, and I got home and set up the market stall and started selling these wallets and bags. It wasn't called KIVARI back then. I didn't have a brand. I just had a few leather wallets and a big dream and a lot of passion. So it wasn't actually KIVARI then. It was just me.
So it's amazing. You basically went on a trip in Bali, like absolutely not thinking about anything creative whatsoever. And you loved what you saw there, decided to create your own little piece of leather accessories and came back home and start selling them.
Yes.
So you started with leather accessories. How did you transition to fashion?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I always loved fashion. My mother taught me to sew when I was little. I loved designing, creating. So that was always there. I always had this idea of owning a business one day, but I didn't actually know what that was going to be. So yeah, I started with the leather wallets because I didn't know how to get into fashion. So for me, that was just a little creative outlet, like a side hustle I could just do. After time, like going back, reinvesting the money back into more leather products, bigger bags, different styles, building up the bank account that way, I thought, okay, well, maybe we're going to start trying some clothing. So I just kind of got some fabric, designed some little shorts and kimonos actually, and I realised that people loved them and they were flying out the door. There was one piece called the Whitebird kimono and I must have sold thousands of this piece, like went viral on Pinterest at the time. It definitely gave me a couple of $100,000 boost to start doing more clothing. It was wild. I kept getting it in. It kept selling out time and time again. So yeah, that's how I kind of got into the clothing. I got that kind of cash injection from this Whitebird kimono, this one little kimono, one item. It was wild. And reinvested it back into the business again, into designing more kind of small collections, got some like little silk camis, more shorts, again reinvested it back in and just grew very organically. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Like I was just...
So you were still you were on Pinterest, which is pretty good. Were you as well on the markets at that time with a kimono?
On the markets as in like...
Yeah, local markets?
Yes.
Okay.
So still doing the local markets with the kimonos and the kind of lace tops. And yeah, then people started contacting me saying, hey, can we wholesale, you know, these clothes? And I was wholesaling the bags a little bit then as well. So started wholesaling. I had no idea how to even do that. I was like, there was no, you know, chat GTP back then or kind of podcast. It was just me like Googling, how do I wholesale? Kind of worked it out by myself and started wholesaling, kept doing the markets.
So you were a radiographer, that was your job.
Yeah.
At some point in your career as a radiographer, did you feel like you needed more?
Yeah, like it's such a great job and a brilliant salary. And I just wasn't fulfilled. I was bored. I knew I could create something bigger than what I was doing. So I had that belief that I could do that. So that's what I went about doing. Just kind of, it was a hustle, you know. I was working as a radiographer every waking minute, day, night, morning, afternoon shift. When I was a radiographer, if it was quiet, I'd get my laptop out, get my phone out. I was like learning, growing, just burning the candle at pretty much every single end possible.
Did you think at that time that KIVARI will be where it is today?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I even had someone ask me, I remember at the hospital saying, do you want to open up retail stores? Kind of when I started this. And I was like, no way, no, why would I want to do that? Yes. So, and then here we are.
So was there a key moment or turning point in those early days that made you believe that, yes, KIVARI will never be that big, but there is something more to pursue. There is something more to go with this.
Yeah, I think I was just so passionate about it and loved it. And when you find your passion and something you love so much, it's not working. It's just fun and, you know, you love it and you pour everything in. So I think the key moment for that was I was at the markets working as a radiographer. It was busy. One day my dad said to me, he's like, what are you doing? He was Dutch. He had this Dutch accent. He was like, Kirstin, like, you're mad. Why are you wasting your time doing this? And I was like, but Dad, I love it. I don't know why, but I love it. And he's like, you're crazy. And he walked off and I was like, okay. He's like, you've got a great salary. Why are you doing this? So from that moment, I kind of went about, all I wanted to do was make my same salary selling leather bags and wallets, which then by this stage was probably KIVARI then. I could get that same salary as in KIVARI as I was working as a radiographer. So that was my goal. And I just pushed really hard to get to that goal. And once I got there, I was like, yes. I was like, what's my next goal? And I thought, okay.
Did you call your dad?
Oh, yeah. I was like, look, my pay, look, my set bank. He's like, that's good. Yeah. And then my next goal was, okay, if I can do that, what else can I do? So I was like, I want to turn over $1 million in revenue. So that was my next push to like, you know.
So you pushed you set up some goals like one after the other and then you achieve them and you move to the next one?
To the next one. So it was little bit by little bit. It wasn't written down. It was just in my brain, my head of like what I want to achieve and what I went after. So
did you have any support to help your business grow at that time?
No one. I've only got a coach recently, the last 8 months, I would say. For anyone out there starting a business now, I would say get a coach and get a mentorship as soon as you can because it just helps. Yeah.
How do you know which one is the right one?
I think recommendations, referrals, they align with your values, what you believe in, and it's just trial and error, I guess. Yeah.
So KIVARI, the brand, has experienced incredible growth, especially in the last 10 years. What were the key decisions or the risk that accelerated the momentum?
I think it's the ability to make bold moves. And for me, I think that expansion was definitely retail. Having that retail footprint. So I went from pop-up stores 7 years ago to this year we'll be opening up our 14th retail store. So 3 more coming in the next 6 months, which is a little bit wild. Fast. So it's having the ability to back yourself and believe in yourself. Maybe a little bit of naivety in there as well. I think definitely in the beginning to push forward and, you know, beat the fear and keep going, I think is how it's kind of really expanded and blown up over the last even 3 years. I think it's with the expansion of the retail store rollout.
When and where did you open your first retail store?
Yes, so my first retail store was a pop-up in Freshwater on the Northern Beaches in Sydney, and it came about by chance. I packed my bags from the Gold Coast. I moved to Sydney because I was going to do the Bondi markets because that's where, you know,
everyone starts.
Exactly, it's my plan. So I'm going to go. So I left my partner at the time and packed my van, my Nissa Next Trail, and I moved to Sydney. I did one market, and it was a horrendous market. I was at the back. There was no people. It was hot. I was like, what on earth have I done here? And it wasn't until the end of the market a lady approached me and she said, hey, I'm thinking about doing a pop-up shop. Do you want to do it with me? And I thought, yeah, sure. Where is it? And she said, it's in Freshwater. And I said, where's that? She's like, it's near Manly. I was like, perfect. Okay, let's do it. So I opened a pop-up shop, never did another market at Bondi again after that. Yes. It was wild, crazy.
But you see, the universe, you needed to go there to have this experience. It's really funny. I've done a few markets and a couple in Bondi. I had a label as well that didn't last long, but I had it in one of my previous lives.
Yeah, I love that.
And it was raining. The first time I went to Bondi Market, it was raining. The weather was terrible. I was at the back as well. I was like, why I'm here? Why did I do that? I will never be anywhere. It's so hard to have.
Markets are hard. Yes. It's a hustle. It's hard. You rain, winds, pack up, like it's dirty. It's
and you never know what you are going to get. You know, you can have good days and terrible days. It's just, but it's so funny how the universe, you know,
it's crazy to think that. Yeah, because in the beginning I didn't even want a retail store. And then she said, do you want a pop-up? And I said yes. And then that store, I was so happy. I was like, I had a key. I could walk in. Everything was set up. I was like, this is amazing. And we had a killer weekend. I was like, why am I doing the markets when I can just walk in here all dressed up, feeling nice, you know? So, yeah, it's funny how the universe, it works out.
So let's go back to your creative process. You created these kimonos and these leather accessories. How your creative process looks like now versus at the beginning?
It's so different.
I can imagine.
In the beginning, it was literally myself sketching on a piece of paper to design something that I loved. It wasn't risky at all because I didn't have retail stores to fill or wages to, you know, people's salaries to pay. So it was just very like organic and creativity, like just me doing everything. And then when we went to move to the clothing side of things, it was again me working very closely with a local family in Indonesia in their house pretty much with the pattern maker and cutting and sewing. Like it was amazing. Like I love those memories. Now it's very different. The business really shifted actually when COVID hit and I couldn't go to Bali anymore and you've really got to be there. So we had to pivot very quickly and we moved to China for our manufacturing. So it all moved to China and it's still in China now. They're very efficient. And the design process, I mean, I've got 14 members in the design team now from print design, designers, garment tech. So it's very built out and robust. So it's completely different. And in the beginning, it's very creative. And you go on gut, intuition and feel. But now, you know, I've got to be creative, but I've also look at the numbers and the data and what's selling and what the markets are saying and the trends. And we do have planners in the business who do that. So it's always this balance of creativity, but also looking at your numbers. Yeah, so it's changed dramatically.
I love your denim pieces. I think they are such a statement. And I really love them. Do you still supervise everything when it comes to creative process?
Yeah, so I guess most of my time now is spent overseeing the design process. Okay. So it's like the early stages, which are the concept of the range. So at the moment we're working on next spring and the concept is around my heritage, which is Dutch. So it's really exciting that kind of pulling that together. And then there's pieces like steps every 3 weeks where we have check-ins on the design, on the prints. So I'm not in there doing it. I'm just kind of overseeing and signing it off. Okay. So that's,
But you're still enjoying it very much.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love going to work. I love waking up and going to work.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's
so amazing.
It's fun. I'd love more hours in my day, but yeah.
Hard work paid off.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
What's one thing people don't see or assume wrongly about running a label?
Oh, look, I think from the outside, people just think, oh, it's amazing. Like she's opened up all these retail stores and it all looks fun and beautiful. And it is. There is that side of it for sure. But there's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of grit. Resilience, you get knocked down, you just have to get back up quicker than you fell. So there's like, you know, the tip of the iceberg, which is all shiny and beautiful, but underneath there's, you know, it's been 11 years. I quit radiography 11 years ago of hard work and hustle and to get to where I am today. So there's a lot that goes into it. Just got to keep going. Never give up.
Do you still have moments of doubts? And if so, what pull you through these moments?
That's a good question. Like imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're not growing if you're not feeling a little bit intimidated, because it means you're in the wrong rooms. So I do feel moments of this, and I just come back to my purpose and why I'm doing it to kind of keep pushing through.
Your why.
And why, yeah. I just want to keep believing in myself and keep growing and believe in the brand and the community that we design beautiful clothes for, to make women feel amazing, empowered, inspired. So that's just kind of keep going back to the why, and I think that just pushes you forward, removes the doubts.
I'm going to jump on community. Everyone that I interviewed told me that community was so important for them. How did you manage to build this community as well? And you have a strong community with your team. I follow you on Instagram and I could see how your team is motivated and excited about what comes next.
Yeah.
How did you manage all of this? Yes.
That's a really good question. I have a great team. My team are incredible and the head office are amazing. Our retail teams are amazing and they are the forefront of the brand, and they do really create that community. Each location has their VIPs and their customers that they bring in, or they might text them when the new arrivals come in. So, and then we have like special events or champagnes in store, things like that to create that community. I think there's always more work to be done there though. I do think it's actually a big focus of the business this coming year is that really building and solidifying that community. I think taking people on a journey as well. I love showing behind the scenes of our photo shoots or what goes into it with the team, but also with people online. And Instagram is such a good platform for that, you know, that real behind the scenes look of it's not just a pretty brand. It's like, come with us when we go to Italy, or the design pro saw, what colour shoe do you like? Do you want the chocolate or do you want the black? And, you know, they get to vote on it and have some input. So I do think that helps build and grow a community.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have a loyal customer. Our customer's amazing.
Yes. Yeah. And like really, and it reflects, everything you said reflects on your socials. Definitely can feel like a strong community. And I could see when you had like a 2-3 days internal conference with your team, I can see your managers so excited and so happy to be there. Yeah. It's really refreshing.
Oh, so thank you. Thank you.
There is something that I didn't mention in the intro, but it's really important. You are a mom as well, a mom of 2 kids.
Yeah.
It takes at least 50% of who you are and your time.
Yeah.
How do you manage it all? Because you went overseas recently to the US, to Canada.
Yeah.
Yesterday you were in South Australia.
Yeah.
You have a wonderful brand with 14 stores.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
How do I do it? It's a good question. I have a great husband who is very supportive. He was in corporate finance for 19 years. He's recently joined KIVARI actually, so only a few months in, so we'll see how we go. But he's been very, very supportive. I think there's probably no such thing as, people talk about balance at work. I don't think there's a balance. I think it kind of goes in ebbs and flows. Harmony is probably a better word to use. At the moment, I've been so busy because I'm leaving on Friday to my caravan trip for 3 months. So I'm kind of jamming everything in and being super busy. So this period it's busy, and then other periods it's quieter and a bit more time to spend with the kids. We don't have support in Sydney, but we do have an incredible nanny who does support us and help, a supportive husband. And I think it's actually also about having time in your calendar. Like I've got really blocks of time, you know, this is date night with my husband, for example. This is kids on the weekend. I don't work on the weekends. I know a lot of founders and people who do, and I really think, you know, you've got to have that special time with your family to connect, because they're only young once as well.
It's absolutely resonate with me. I don't think work-life balance is a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just more managing things at different time, 100%. You know, and changing your priorities according to the dynamic and the situation you are into. And as you said, you probably have been very busy for the last couple of 3 months, but you are going to spend the next 3 months only with your family.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
which is great. Yes.
Yeah. So I think, it's about balance. So busy here, and just communicate that with, you know, my husband. This is what I've got to do. And then we've got some great time together coming up, which I'm really looking forward to. Yeah.
What values are non-negotiable for you as a founder?
Values non-negotiable. I think positive attitude. I think that's a big one for me. And to get to where I've been from markets to here, I think it's about believing in the vision and being positive in everything you do, you say, you speak into the universe. So for me, I think that is definitely a big, I mean, we've got lots of values, but that for me is probably the biggest value is, positive attitude. I think with a positive attitude, you can do anything. Even if you don't have the skill set, you can be trained in that. But if you've got the right attitude, I'd hire for attitude over skill set at certain levels.
Yeah, absolutely right. What do you wish someone told you before launching?
Before starting the brand, I think when it kind of got a bit of momentum would be to go and find a coach, a business coach or a mentor, someone to guide and support you. It is easier these days. There's great podcasts to listen to, even people you can find online to reach out to, and there's more communities for entrepreneurship, which I think is incredible. Back then, didn't have that, just kind of, weaved my way through. But there's definitely people now, if you're starting a business, starting a brand, that you can reach out to get mentorship.
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
For women who dream of starting a fashion label like you or a business, where should they begin?
Okay, where should you begin? I think the beginning would be just to make the decision to do it and go all in. Don't sit there waiting until the moment is perfect, because it's never perfect. You've just got to start slow and start messy, and then just build from there.
Yeah.
KIVARI, people look at it now and think, oh, it's so perfect. I'm like, it's not. There's still mess. There's always going to be mess. Just make that leap of faith and try and give it a go. And if it fails, you just get back up and keep going, learning, or move on to something else. So, just got to start.
Just got to start. Don't wait to be perfect, because it will never be perfect.
100%.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've built something iconic. What are you still learning today?
Oh, wow. I love this question. I think every day I'm learning. That's why I just love what I do so much. And the day I stop learning will be the day that I won't want to do it anymore, which I don't see happening in the near future. Every day, I mean, at the moment, there's a lot around leadership. The team gets bigger. There's new milestones, new levels of leadership. The company will not grow at the level I need it to if I'm not growing. So I do think there's this founder growth and business growth, and need to grow at the same time to keep growing. So that's what I'm learning at the moment.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And this question can be a bit tricky sometimes. Who inspire you today, and how do they impact you?
Okay, yes, it's okay. I would say my daughter and my son. My kids inspire me, I think, just to show up and show them what is possible and what they can do with their lives and what they can do if they see me do it. I feel that is definitely a big inspiration for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think doing it as well for you, but for your kids to, yes, as you said, to show them that everything is possible if you put your mind into
100%.
it. It's probably the best role model that they can ever have. Yes.
Yeah.
Very
So it's
nice.
definitely.
So is there any other advice that you will give to someone who is in business right now but struggling? You know, the early years are really difficult. You don't see the outcome yet, but you work so hard for it. Is there any tips or recommendations you will have for them?
100%. So I think a big one for me, if I look back to when, the business was maybe about a mil or something, I needed help doing low admin tasks. And for me, and I can't rave enough about this role, is getting yourself an EA to take away the low value task and just look at what your daily activities are, and the 10 bottom things that you don't want to do or someone else can do for you. Find someone else to do them and palm them off so you can go up a level, bigger picture, and then palm off the lower level duties and roles and keep on growing up and palming off the bottom things on your list. So I think definitely hiring an EA would be my number one non-negotiable if I was starting the brand from scratch.
Okay.
Again, yeah.
And in terms of motivation, inspiration, what would you suggest when people are rock bottom?
I was there. It was about 8 months ago.
So maybe, yes, you were there and look what happened. Yeah. No mental tips or mental thoughts that they can have.
So I think what got me out of that, like just doing everything, was utilising my EA to their full potential so I could focus on tasks that made me excited and happy. Number one, if you're in that position. Two, I think you need to look after yourself. And for me, daily non-negotiable is I exercise every single morning. Just even for mental health and clarity, just that alone time, especially with kids, it's so busy. And literally that 45 minutes to an hour of exercise a day is the only time I get to myself all day. Yeah. So I do prioritise it. So I think that's definitely...
I feel you. I'm the same.
Yeah.
It's my 45 minutes training in the morning.
I love it.
And then I start the day and hey, here we go. I think you're right. It's so important to have this moment for yourself, to start your day right as well,
100%.
Like it's change your mindset and your mood and you are ready.
I love that.
So what's next now for you and KIVARI?
So me personally, I'm heading off on a caravan trip, a trip of a lifetime for 3 months around Australia, which I'm super excited about. It'll be my biggest time, my longest time away from the business, but I have an incredible team and I have full faith that they're going to continue rocking it. So that's for me personally. For the business, we've got 3 store openings this year, taking us up to 14. We have big goals. We've just picked up some great majors in the States. So Shop Bop Anthropologie, Bloomingdale's, we're launching in soon. David Jones, we're also launching in come October.
That's exciting.
Yeah, a lot of work behind the scenes to get that up and running though, which we're going to do. So that's coming for the business and continue growing.
So you were
both nationally and internationally.
You were in the US and Canada, so exciting things coming there too.
Yeah, just a bit of work with our showroom over there and PR agency. And Canada was like a business mindset. Yeah, I had the best time.
Yes.
It was awesome. Yeah. You just feel really refueled and ready to go after trips like that. So it was brilliant. So lots of exciting things coming. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Kiki, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
It was absolutely amazing to hear you, to hear your journey, where you came from and how hard you work, how hard you hustles to be where you are today. You are a true inspiration and you are clearly an example to show people that if you put your mind into it,
100%.
you love and you're passionate about what you do and you keep pushing, it will pay off.
100%. Yeah.
Thank you again.
And thank you for having me.
Today.
It's been amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Lucky Last. If you enjoyed today's conversation, remember to subscribe or follow me on your favorite podcast platform. And if you are more of a visual learner, you can catch the video version of this episode on my YouTube channel. Just search for Lucky Last and hit subscribe to never miss an episode. As always, your support means the world to me. So until next time, keep chasing your dreams and embracing those lucky last chances. See you soon!